Okay, so let's check. Turn 5, great. Okay, so everything's back to normal. I still see no red dots. Yeah, sure. uh, yeah, well, we do what we can. Let's look at the replay. And actually, really, nothing actually happened. Wow. Let's look around before we check suppression. Check if any of the Vic checks have been taken. Anything's changed. Nope. Alright, so let's check suppression. Zoom out for that. Actually, I don't. It's not really worthwhile zooming out for that because I'm not checking line of sight in at the same time anymore. So formation leaders, make sure there's no suppression. There shouldn't be because nothing's happened, as far as we know. Probably lots of stuff has happened, we just haven't seen it. Okay. So far, nothing of note there. So we'll start here because these guys are in the open. They most likely to see something if I look around, maybe. Nope, nothing showed up. So whatever's out there is moving, being very, very quiet. Well, these squads will have even less chance of seeing anything, because regular infantry. Well, yeah, if there's no mortar fire by the end of this turn, then that's gonna be really weird. Nope. Nobody's moving around and nobody's making it obvious that they're moving around. They are moving around. Make no mistake, they are moving around. Let's see what we got here. Now we're a little bit closer to possible activity. Nope. Okay, we can't actually see anything past there. That is annoying. That is very annoying. Okay, check that one already. There's actually a line of sight up to the top of this area here. Well, I mean, I'm committed here. I can't. I just. Well, I could, in theory, pull back, but I don't. There's no point. There's no point. I think. But yeah, there is absolutely no point. I might as well just keep pushing forward and see what shakes out of it. This side's a bit more tricky because we really have. Line of sight's a bit more restricted, although up here it's not too bad. I think you can't see anything. I can see that way. Nothing there. Well, this guy's really quite limited in what he can see. You can see that hex there. That's gonna be important because I'll need to know. So I may need to move him in there so that I can move up to this side. Yeah, 'cause you don't really want. Well, it's still a risk for the. I mean, it's a risk for anybody in a town setting because even these small ones would probably might get spotted a lot easier. I'm not actually sure whether if the concealment in around buildings is better than because the game doesn't really tell you concealment. I mean, there's no way to know how hidden you are, so to speak. I mean, you know, there's always discussions of cover, but nothing about concealment. And I mean, close combat has the same problem. It doesn't. You know, you can tell how much cover you have, which doesn't really help you when you can actually be seen, even though you have good cover. If that makes any sense. Okay, so I think these ones are not able to see very much. Nope. Now, the thing is, he's not. I don't have any position here that where I could see really into some of these. Like, there's no way for me to look down into this area because I don't have any high ground that can achieve that. I mean, there's a height 20 here, but it's in trees, so you're not going to see any. You know, you can't see out of the trees. Okay, I think that's all I can do. Yeah. Okay. Curious, what is his? So nothing's going to be moving up on that side. Well, nothing's going to be sneaking past us because once they get into within 3 X's, we'd spot them anyway. Okay, so anything else I need to look around with? He's on higher ground at the moment. No, he's not. Oh, he's at height 10. Right. Let's see. Just in case, being able to look over things helps. He's on a height 5 building. That actually doesn't help that much. It doesn't help as much as you would think. So actually, my positioning the machine guns on in these buildings is not going to help them at all. Well, that really sucks. Because he's not going to be able to fire past this point here anyway. The best they can do is provide support on this side. Which is actually not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad. Cover that side if anything moves up on over there. But at least get closer to the action. Maybe that'll help. Maybe. Who knows? Certainly not me. Okay. Let's deal with. I'm gonna move these guys forward here. And I should have clicked one of them. Okay, so. Now, this. We know there's nothing there, but we don't want anything there. So. No, there's nothing in there. There's no way to know if anything's in there. And they could be. I mean, they could have been stuff moving up along here. And they could actually move fairly quickly. Simply because you'll be able to see them behind the buildings. So, you know, there could be a horde. This entire force could be in the town. No, not really, but I mean, that would be impractical. But there could be a lot of them in here, and I would not have no idea. So, what can you do? No. Okay, so we're gonna move here. Now, unfortunately, if anything is there or there, and it fires at him, we're not gonna know it. Unfortunately, because nobody else is there to help him out. There's nothing there. Okay, so maybe we won't move him first. Let's see. Well, there's nothing I can do to get line of sight past these buildings except move into them. The question is, where are they gonna move? They're gonna move up this side here. No, they'll move there. They'll move there. Okay, so now I think we'll just move straight forward here from the positions they're at, because they'll put them around here. No, I'd like to move them up this side, so they move there, they'll move straight that way. Okay, I think I got it. Let's have a look here. I don't think we can see anything past that, but let's check anyway. This is the problem with being in an urban setting in the game, is you can't see shit. One hex. It's as bad as being in trees, really. The only benefit is the buildings give you a somewhat better cover than trees do, but it's the same problem. Okay. nice line of sight there, so if something shoots, we may get a... Yeah, you can see into that building, that building. Now, it's not, this is another example of where the next training scenario is an urban battle. So, yeah, I'm playing actually against the human player before I've done the training scenario. So, right away we can tell this is probably not going to go well because I haven't had any practice with this type of environment. Well, I've had some practice in scenarios, but that's not quite the same thing because scenarios aren't usually designed to teach you anything. Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind in my training. But to be honest, I think I'm learning more from playing against the human player than I am against the playing the training scenarios. Or maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't know. But it's certainly more fun, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna move him up in the open. But I'm only gonna do one hex, and he can't see anything from there anyway, so... Okay, well that's not very helpful at all. Do I want to risk moving another hex, because he can't really... No, we can't. I mean, we have line of sight there. He could move in... There, maybe, but then we have risks of hexes from, being... Well, there's a lot of places where I don't have line of sight, so when something happens, might as well take it, not risk it. If he's moving one hex, there's a small chance that he... Oh, it's actually better than a small chance, but there's a chance he will not be seen. Okay, so... Problem is, where is he gonna go? Might as well put him here. Okay. Alright, so... Now we'll move these recon first, I think. I'm gonna leave him there. I do want to get him into a better position, but maybe not this turn. Actually, his recon might move that way after being here for a little while. Okay, well, let's have the infantry maneuver around them first. These recon here. Now, turns out this was not a useful position because, on the other hand, maybe it might work. It might work. Well, you can't really see anything through here, so that's a problem. Okay, so I just moved him too far away, didn't I? Not yet. Still in visual. That's annoying. Okay, that is height 1. Height 1. May be able to see out that way. Won't get shot at. Okay, hey, great. We can actually see the buildings now. That's 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 perfect. Move the commander up. And he still has good line of sight on his subordinates, so that's a good start there. Next. Kugelwagen. Why? Because that's the recommended procedure. Leg scouts, then vehicle recon, and then infantry. Always trying to move the recon first, and trying to follow accepted procedures rather than just make up stuff by myself, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So, you know, when I find something isn't working for me, then I'll, kind of figure out what's going wrong. But since I might as well just follow recommendations. The idea is that your scouts are now in a new position, and if a scout vehicle moves around, that the enemy may take a shot at it, and which would allow that position to be determined. Because you don't really want to find out where the enemy is after, while you're moving your infantry, because then it's harder to react to it. But you can't guarantee that anyway. The question is, where's he gonna go? I gotta be careful with him. He's a wheeled vehicle, so the chances of breaking down or driving him off-road like this is rather high. Although the Germans is it the Germans that have the highest, no, the lowest rate of vehicle breakdown? I can't remember. They're up there. I mean, they're they have more reliable vehicles than most others. Where shall we go? Well, the other reason I don't want to give the impression I'm just driving it around to see if he shoots at things, because I do need to keep it moving, because that's a pretty gamey thing to do, just to drive a Jeep around, continuously to see if something happens, right? But I don't want to leave it in one place, because I mean that can be taken out with mortar fire very easily. The other thing I want to find out, actually, from the tank point of view, is what we can see, is how far back we can go into the orchard. Because now we're in mixed. We're not in the orchard anymore. Okay. Even though this looks like orchard hexes, we're not actually in the orchard. So that's why you can see so well. That is orchard, but that's still one hex, so let's put him here. Well, that's good to know. So tanks can move up in this position here and actually hit things. This side not so much, because like this side, because the height one, they'd have to move all the way forward. Although they may be able to hit the high ground anyway, which is maybe enough. Let's put him here, because he's in the orchard now. I mean, I highly doubt anything would take an opportunity fire at him at this range. That would be really quite hilarious, to be honest. It would probably indicate an error on my opponent's part rather than something he intended to do. But you never know. Errors can happen. We can actually see from that one, but we're right on the edge of it. Orchard, no orchard there. So let's move him back a little bit. Okay, so that's the limit. So the tanks could actually hide in the orchard, if necessary, because they can't be seen. Okay, that's good to know. But you have to figure out those positions ahead of time. There's not that much though. This orchard isn't very big. There's only 1, 2, 3. So there's only maybe 3 hexes here that you could position in. Probably back here, here, like that one. Whoops. That one. Maybe that one. I doubt it though, because you're right on the edge. I think you'll be able to be seen from that side, but you might be able to shoot out of it, so that's good to know. Figure out these positions ahead of time. Try and make use of them later in the battle, if the opportunity comes up. It's much more difficult for me to figure out where to go after the fact. So I think I'll leave him there. That should make him disappear for a turn. And any line of sight that might have been held on him would be lost. Like any target that would have been held on him would be lost. So just to mix things up a bit. Okay, so these guys are going to move forward there. These guys will move forward there. And these guys will move there. I think they may be able to move again. However, if they move under there, they probably will have line of sight to there. Do I want to do that? Well, I'll think about it, because these guys have to move first. There. I just realized I could have looked, should have looked around with this one. Because we actually can see a little bit up here. But not enough, really. Not enough. Okay. Now, they're going to move again. They could. But it's risky for him because I don't have any information about that side. So we'll move him forward there. Yep, as expected, no line of sight, and we're actually going to move him forward as well. Yeah, if there was something there, they would see him, obviously, but we'll have to risk it. And then we can move this one again, I think. Just to get them up there. This was a slight change in direction. Well, more than a slight change in direction to get them to move into this area. Yeah, well. I'm gonna put him here. Look around. him here. This LMG will move up to here. Look around. I think his line of sight is a bit restricted from there, though. Yeah, it's not very helpful. I'll keep moving him forward here. He has to move, I think. Actually, he's lost visual on that unit. I'll put him there for now. He could actually move up again, because this hex is quite well concealed. Yeah. Good idea. Okay. Now, I think the scouts will probably move back that way, towards the edge of the map again. And probably move a little bit further forward, maybe to the edge of the road or something. Because I don't know what... Just to get a line of sight around this side here. And I don't really want to do that too close. Oh, another possibility is to move them up along the slope. That might be better for them. Okay, well, let's think about that. That's obviously not happening this turn. I should consider moving him forward now. He's getting a little too far away from the units, and he's really far away from this one. So if they need extra rallying points, too bad, as the saying goes. Finish there. I'm gonna leave him on the road. He only moved one hex, so not really a big deal. Now, don't really want to move these guys in a straight line. Let's move them around like the drunken soldiers they are. So I'm gonna move them this way. Look around. Don't actually have to be zoomed out for that. He's out in the open. Just in case one of them spots something. Move him forward. Okay, that's that platoon. This one's a bit tricky. Where shall they go? I think I'm gonna put him that way. Yeah, let's send him that way. It's not ideal because he's actually in front of the scout. Look around with him. back there. Okay, mustn't forget to move them. Now, we have a scout that can see some positions there. So I'm actually going to consider, I'm actually going to move, because they actually can't really do much from this position, I think. So I'm going to try it. Yeah, his line of sight's very restricted. I'll leave him there for the moment, and I'm actually going to move. Them this way. So I'll move them towards the buildings up here. In theory, like the height 10 building should actually provide better line of sight across here. In theory. The problem is the height buildings don't really work. Well, they do, but they shouldn't. Like buildings shouldn't really improve a line of sight, because the game doesn't really take into account whether you're in the building or on top of the building, or. But the way line of sight behaves on building hexes, it seems like you're always on top of the building or on the top floor. Like a height 10 building is only one story, so for it to improve line of sight, you'd actually have to be on top of it on the roof, which would be pretty dangerous. So I don't know. It's one of those things that seems like somebody put in after the fact, and it doesn't quite work the way you expect, or at least the way I expect. So if we're moving that way, then we might as well. I'm going to position him there. And then we probably go move that way, just to keep them in line of sight. I might leave him here, just because there's not a lot of other places to put him. I don't really want to move up. Well, when I get there, I'll try positioning the LMG in a building and see what happens. I mean, it's really dangerous because I have no idea what's around here, right? Until that actually seems like, man, now that I'm thinking about it, it seems like a really bad idea. Although by the time he gets there, if he moves one X at a time, the infantry will have moved up a couple of X's as well, because that's, yeah, it's going to take him a long time to get there, I think. But by that point, this infantry will have probably run into trouble, I think. The chances of them not running into trouble, I expect is quite low. Just because he hasn't taken these victory X's doesn't mean anything. He might just be avoiding that because he knows I'm on the move, and he's not giving his position away. Okay, so let's move in them. Yeah, I got completely distracted myself there. Mortars there. Let's put them behind the trees. That should cut line of sight off to quite a large area. It's not enough. Yeah, well, we can still be seen from the hill. That's not good. Well, it'll have to do, because I mean, obviously can't undo it. Okay, those are moved. Based on the slope, he actually can't be seen from very many places now at all. So, might move him another hex. So if I get him behind the building, then he won't be sealed. He'll be out of sight. Yep, good stuff. I'm not sure when I move him again. I quite won't be out of line of sight. Yeah, okay, I will wait. So this turn I haven't advertised my movements that much. I've only moved one hex here. Now if he's able to hit me anyway, then I'll, if you know, with mortars, then I will, or any kind of artillery. The thing of it is, I mean, if he's using howitzers, then the scatter will help him here, because he doesn't have to actually target me specifically. There's enough splash, no, scatter, not splash, around the target hex that he could hit things anyway. Mortars are a little bit more precise. Once you get to howitzers, they tend to be a little bit off, unless you have your spotter and have line of sight on it. And even then, you get quite a lot of scatter. Okay, anything else that needs to move? No. Don't think so. Don't think so. Well, him. Is there any point to leaving him there now? And if I move him, where should he move to? I'll put him on this side. Could move him again. I think he's out of line of sight of a lot of things, so let's do that. Yep, good idea. I don't think it was doing any good up there. There's like my ideal observation points are up here, because that's, I mean, you can actually see out of them. There's a high ground in here, but like I mentioned earlier, but it's all tree covered, so you can't see anything out of it anyway. Useless for anything at all. That's it, I think. So everybody's moved. Everybody who's yeah. Doesn't look like anybody's being left behind. Well, one possibility is the reason I'm trying to get Panzerjägers up here is that it's a good place for him to bring an armored vehicle down quickly, take a shot, and then move back. So, but if it was me, I'd probably bring them up this side. But that's maybe a little too obvious. I do tend to play it rather obviously. So, okay, I think I'm done. Let's check ranges and then see if there's any artillery fire. Well, not that ranges will have changed because obviously we haven't actually fired anything yet, or been fired at, because that changes the range as well, which is kind of awkward because as soon as somebody fires at you, if it's within range then of your weapons, then you will fire back. So it's not very hard to hide yourself with the way opportunity fire works if you're not careful. It's best not to be seen in the first place. But of course, being out in the open like this, I've been seen. The only thing I can do now is minimize the damage if I'm actually hit, which is achieved by moving very slowly, like cautious movement, but it's still dangerous. I do know that moving out in the open like this is actually, I mean, it does save the lives of your troops. At the expense of not being able to make up much ground. Alright, I just looped around again, didn't I? Oh man, that's terrible. Okay, let's back it up here and let's pick a unit. Send the turn. And no artillery, yay!